everyone is you and I first. Saying on the flight mobile, so we rolling through, you dig? But yeah, with that being said, let me know how your day is going, and type in the comments, and let me know your sun, moon, and rising. And with that being said, let me know what house you have Capricorn participating in, and all that being said as well. Um, let me know what you're being the boss of, and let me know if you can help me out. You know what I'm saying, based on what kind of job you do, and based on you being the boss of your circumstance. Well, maybe we can work it out, and maybe you can get a business going together. You dig what I'm saying? Tap into the comments or tap in my email. You dig what I'm saying? Maybe you could do a logo for me. Maybe help me do like a logo for a shirt, something like that, for example. But this is the time right now that you want to be initiating and creating your emotions to have this rebirth take place and begin to have this new accumulation which we have going on based on this waxing moon, right? But now we have it in Capricorn. It's going to be all about being the boss of rebirth. So whatever you need to change or whatever you feel the need to have a new experience in, or for example, whatever emotion you want to shift and have different emotions about, is the time to be the boss of that. So with all that being said, at this point in time, it's all about that Saturnian influence, that Capricorn influence. And right now, we got, for example, we have the Uranus in Taurus, right? So we have that trining the moon right now. So we're going to have an unexpected occurrence go on based on the way we emotionally feel. So there's going to be that opportunity to essentially feel comfortable initiating and creating a way of practicality and being logistical, right? And with this being said, the sun in Scorpio is just finishing up, right? We got this at 24 degrees. So with all this being said, at this point in time, it's all about getting ready for the winter time. The fall season is in full effect. You see what I'm saying? Based on it being the fixed season of the season. So every season in the middle of the season is the fixed season. For example, the middle of winter is Aquarius. The middle of spring is Taurus. In the middle of summer, that's Leo, right? And then think about it this way: all the initiating and creating signs, the initiating and creating of spring is Aries. The initiating and creating of summer is Cancer. The initiating and creating of the fall time is Libra. And the initiating and creating of the winter time is Capricorn, right? And then you think about the mutable section to finish up the zodiac. The mutable signs just transition. For example, Gemini is the transition between spring and summer, and then Virgo is the transition between summer and fall, and then Sagittarius is the transition between fall and winter, and then Pisces is the transition between winter and spring, right? So with all this being said, it's all about, at this point in time, initiating and creating, right? It being fixed in whatever you want to actually rebirth. So with this right now, we're going to have the moon being here for the next 2.5 days. It's in the early degrees of Capricorn, right? So we're going to go ahead and get to the first of the 12th house towards the end of the video, but I'm going to keep on explaining this energy a little bit because it's very important to comprehend um, how heavy this moon is. So it's a moon that's in detriment based on being in Capricorn. And with all this being said, this is a time that you need to build or you need to work. And right now you might not feel like you might not feel comfortable with what you're building on and things like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice day in Akron. You dig what I'm saying? Rolling with no shirt on and things like that. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'm a country boy. You dig what I'm saying? We love rolling without a shirt on. You dig what I'm saying? That's a whole other conversation. And yeah, so with all this being said, we're going we got traffic jam. But right now we got a whole bunch of people just crashing out. If you look at the Scorpio season, that's essentially what's going down. Shout out to Dolo the Pilot Man and Archangel Uriel was speaking on how the Scorpio season is all about to crash out, and that's essentially what's going down. Because if you weren't already in your fixed nature and actually accumulating what you wanted to accumulate throughout this whole year, right now it all just came to a head and just crashed. everything fell down, everything crumbled, right? Everything went to shambles. So that old ego that you had created and you were working with throughout this whole entire year, now you have to rebirth and create a new ego and create a new phoenix. So if you're still trying to use the old phoenix, it's not going to work out too well for you, right? So, with this being said, Capricorn in the first house is all about this personal affair. So you need to personally work on your personal affairs or your personality or your individuality. So at this point in time, you need to work on what you individually feel comfortable working with, or essentially work on your personal responsibilities. For example, if you have bills you got to pay, you should probably pay them joints based on it being the moon in Capricorn. You dig what I'm saying? If you got bills in general, you should be paying them joints no matter what moon sign it is, just to be clear. That's an example of it's all about business. It's all about being the boss. So then moving forward, Capricorn in the second house is Sagittarius rising. And Sagittarius rising is experiencing this environment. So it's all about being the boss in their environment. So if Sagittarius can buckle down and essentially utilize their fire to actually become the one that's knowledgeable and wise, to be the one in the environment to actually play this out. You see what I'm saying? Pardon me, Capricorn in the second house. Pardon me, yeah, that's my fault. I'm funked out. Sagittarius got Capricorn in the second house. So instead of it being in the third in the environment, it's all about the values. My apologies. Sagittarius has to value being the boss to actually become the boss. So essentially, if Sagittarius doesn't see the meaning and reasoning behind being in charge, then they just won't be, and they don't really care about that kind of thing. So essentially, at this point in time, you need to see what actually you value and see what you have to work towards to attain this value system, or keep this value, what you value up, and keep on being able to have that. But now Capricorn in the third house, that's the Scorpio rising. So for the Scorpio rising, it's all about the environment, right? So like I say a second ago, whenever I flunked out and was talking about the Sagittarius somehow having Capricorn in the third, see, that's not how it is. The Scorpio got Capricorn in the third. See what I'm saying? So, but the Scorpio, like I say, is the nature that I was speaking about. They're the ones that are the environment, like, okay, do I actually want to communicate? Do I feel comfortable communicating and initiating, creating this in the environment to actually be the boss of it? Do I really see the actual point? Like, do I actually want to buckle down and become the boss in this environment? Is actually lucrative, and that's essentially what the Scorpio is dealing with right now. Is do I actually want to become the boss of something else, or do I like being the boss of what I'm the boss of right now? And if you like what you're being the boss of right now, then with this Scorpio energy, you just need to become more more of a what you call that? More of an asset to your business. And if you don't have a business that you're working with in the environment, you need to now rebirth it and actually see what you do have that passion about and what you can actually bring to the forefront based on having this Scorpio in the first house, based on your personal life. So then moving forward with the Libra rising, the Libra rising is having the Capricorn in the fourth house. Yeah, Capricorn's in the fourth house for Libra. So with this being said, the Libra has to learn how to be more private and learn how to be more caring, essentially, at this point in time. Learn how to care about the business. So Libra, instead of wanting to relate with everybody right now, you need to care for your business and care for what is actually your status, essentially. And that's what Capricorn's all about as well. Right now, we're going to feel comfortable in a certain status. So then moving forward, the Virgo rising is having the Capricorn in the fifth house, and based on this, it's all about creating this opportunity. So they're creating an opportunity both based on both being air signs. So in the Virgo's personal life, they're able to create this opportunity based on their expression. And so essentially, the Virgo being so detailed, they're able to actually be in charge of being the boss that expresses themselves and says, this is how I want it to be, and this, that, and the third. And with this being said, essentially, if you don't feel comfortable expressing your business or expressing what you're the boss of, that means you're in the lower octave energy. You need to actually find what you actually want to be the boss of and what to be Saturnian about and be restrictive about. So then moving forward, the Capricorn in the sixth house, this will be for the Leo rising. Yeah, for the Leo rising. So it's all about being the boss of your rigid and pattern. So essentially, if the Leo is just all over the place and doesn't actually have a real routine and pattern to stick to, then at this point in time, they're going to be all over the place and not actually be able to be the boss of anything based on their fire just going wherever it sees like the proper vision, essentially. So the Leo could be too fixed on their own self, so that at this point they misunderstand what to actually be on schedule about. So, and also with this being said, based on not being on schedule, they may be utilizing a different routine and pattern based on their health, and they're not actually being consistent in what they're eating and drinking and actually keeping up with themselves. So at this point in time, Leo, take care of yourself. So then moving forward, the Cancer rising is experiencing the Capricorn in the seventh house. So it's all about the relationships right now. So essentially, the Cancer has to find out how to be the boss of a relationship and either be opposite to what is being built or add on to what is being built. That's all you can do right now is either be opposite or add on, Cancer. So right now, it's either you take the back seat and say, okay, let's just add on a little bit, or you go full on and actually want to oppose the Capricorn. Which, hey, every circumstance is different for every single spirit. You know what I'm saying? Every spirit and body has a different little choice and timeline system to choose from. So then moving forward, the Gemini rising is having the Capricorn in the eighth house. So essentially, the Gemini has to transform what they're being the boss about. So if they haven't already transformed what's behind the scenes and become the boss of their secrets, then essentially the Gemini is going to be in that lower octave, and the Gemini needs to see what is most lucrative to actually rebirth and what to actually be working on behind the scenes, essentially, and be the boss of whatever's necessary behind the scenes. So Gemini, play the background right now, but actually be the boss of playing the background. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say. So the Taurus rising is having the Capricorn in the ninth house. This is all about the knowledge and wisdom. So at this point in time, the Taurus rising is experiencing being the boss of their own wisdom, being wise in their own right, and being confident essentially in what they believe is wise. And generally, this works out well based on them being this trine. So they're creating an opportunity on what to be the boss of and what to be wise about, essentially. And then moving forward, the Aries rising is having the Capricorn in the 10th house. So the Aries is going to have to learn how to be the boss and learn how to actually be in charge and learn how to be hard, essentially. The Aries doesn't have a problem being hard. They have an issue being consistent on creating their own status and blueprint and sticking with that status. So the Aries has to learn how to have an amicable status, essentially, at this point in time that makes sense to their actual personal life. So then moving forward, the Pisces rising is having the Capricorn in the 11th house. So it's all about the association right now. So the Pisces has to be the boss of their associates and who they're around. That's actually building their morality. Because the Pisces is just like a mop. It just soaks everything up like a sponge. You know what I'm saying? And whatever they're around, they become it. And then moving forward, last but not least, the Aquarius is having the Capricorn in the 12th house. So based on their dreams, illusions, and nightmares is what the Aquarius is dealing with right now. So right now, they need to be the boss of their dream and see what they actually want to have play out in reality. So right now, they need to dream free, essentially, is what the message I would give to the Aquarius based on having this Capricorn in the 12th. And then the Scorpio being a learning process, they're going to have to be learning what to actually transform and what to be rebirthing and things like that, and what to be known for. What kind of status do they want to be known for? What do they want to be known for changing based on having this Uranus energy ruling them? So yeah, moving forward, if you need a reading, you can hit me on my email. It's in the description. And then moving forward, with that being said, I'm going to give you a menu. Pardon me, slipped on my words. I'm going to be providing you a menu if you send me an email with all the different readings you can purchase. And then also, with that being said, you could email me with any kind of question, and I'll get your response as soon as possible. So much love, I'll holla back, and so I'm saying much love and peace if you believe in all that, and stay safe or stay dangerous, whatever's necessary, you dig?